Previously on Cover 4 Sports.
I think the Titans are going to win.
Oh my
Wait, what?
I think the Titans are going to win.
Alright. I'd like to clarify right here. If you're wrong on this show, let's make a bet. If you're right, we'll both take two. All of us will each take 2 shots on the show. But if you're wrong, you have to take 2 shots on the show.
I'll take 4 shots.
4 shots. Back to back
Okay.
to back to back.
I'm not taking
Back to back to back to back.
I'll take 4 shots.
Alright, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Cover 4 Sports, where 4 guys sit down and cover 4 sports. Yeah, well, we got River back this week, but
Special guest.
you guys have seen the flashback by now. That you guys are fully aware that it's not just Cover 4 Sports, it is Cover 4 Shots today from Mr. River here, because he can't see the Chiefs.
He made an unfortunate bet.
Yeah, really?
And he picked his poison.
Kind of did.
Yeah,
That's-
big compliments.
that's
Now
tough.
listen,
That's
the
tough.
only
That's
thing
tough.
I have to say on
That's
that
tough.
is it still was a close game. In overtime, they ended up losing.
Who
so.
won?
I'm really trying to figure out who won.
I think it was the Chiefs.
I mean, there's a lot of PRing not called, but I agree the Chiefs won, and I'm not a pussy.
Did the Chiefs win?
And River liked to double his bet instead of being 2 shots.
We said
I
2
mean, it was
shots.
still a close game.
It was a close game. I give you props on that.
You know what's close?
You played yourself.
You know what's
with the
close?
double.
You taking these shots. You're real close to taking these shots.
Yeah, and I'm not scared.
I'm not scared.
Cover
4. That's
Alright, cover 1.
cover 4. That's cover 1.
Okay.
1. Man to man.
Consequences to your
Okay.
words.
This is a cover 2, I believe.
That's a cover 2. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't play like that. Oh, that's tough. That's tough.
Oh,
that's cover 3.
Yes. Oh, hold it down.
Oh.
Is that a
Oh, is that a cover 4? Is that a cover 4?
Is it cover 4 on the floor?
It's cover 4! And you gotta be on the floor.
Alright, well,
Let's get this shit started.
Well, I frosty.
River, in honor of you kind of getting it right. I'd make it a 4.
I'm not taking a full shot.
I'd take a shot.
I'm
I
sure.
appreciate that.
I won't.
Because I was very impressed.
I will
that-
take a sip.
I was very impressed that he said it was gonna be as close as it was, and he was actually right. We went to overtime, right?
Yes, it did. And they won by 3.
No one saw that coming but you, so I'll give you credit.
Right, didn't they win by 3? A field goal?
I think so.
17-20. Alright, so on today's episode of Cheaters, we're going to talk about the World Series. Houston Astros bringing home another one. Not too much baseball talk here, but at the end of the season, I figured I'd go ahead and mention the local Texas team getting it done. Now we're ready for Dallas on the way for.
If only it was the Rangers that actually care.
Yeah, I think Rangers are still going to be like
They might
third
get
best in
Kershaw.
their division. Yeah, I
Like
think
And you know what?
Grom.
They are making some big moves, and they made some big moves
Whether
last
they be
series.
good or bad last year.
only thing I
Yeah,
gotta-
but the thing was they were terrible the year before. Then they made those adjustments. I mean, they're better though.
they're
They
still gonna be
performed
They're
better.
in a 10-year contract that they just said they might be willing to get 100. They might be willing to pay half that contract just to get rid of it.
But I still think the team alone performed better. Performed
Sure, I
better.
don't know. I didn't watch them. They suck.
But I would say
Unfortunately.
this next year they are going to be making some big moves, like you were saying. So I hopefully.
Even with the addition of it, probably still like third best in the division. So congrats Houston. Whatever,
At
go
best,
Texas.
yeah.
Texas is best.
Yeah.
Woohoo! Aaron. Speaking of another Texas team, you want to tell us about our real young ho heroes?
The Dallas Mavericks.
Ooh,
Yes, sir.
that's a good one. I like that.
Luka Doncic, we trust. Well,
Absolutely.
it's still very early in the season. Unfortunately, Christian Wood just went out with an injury recently. Thankfully, Tim Hardaway Jr. was not as injured as we thought he was. Off first glance, it looked like he might have had another major injury, but he didn't even miss a game, and he's been playing every single game. I saw him hitting some threes earlier. I think they're currently losing to the Wizards. And that's kind of the thing with the Mavs. It's like last year, it took them a while to build chemistry, and they play very good team-oriented ball where like Luka gets doubled basically, and he passes up to someone until someone has a wide open 3, and they're just really not hitting those threes right now, and they're not really playing team defense like they normally do. So I expect them to get better and better as the year progresses, just like last year. I just still think they're going to be a little bit better than they were last year, just because they have the big man. Even though JaVale McGee looks terrible right now, like it's very concerning. But Christian Wood looks pretty good. If he can get the defense down a little bit more, I think in the long term that will be another contender. I mean, wouldn't hurt to get a nice trade going on, but last time we did that, it didn't work out too well for us. So, I mean, all the games that they've been playing so far have been very close. They don't The only team they blew out was the Memphis Grizzlies, which is probably like the best team they played. Every other game has been close. Unfortunately, a lot losing to teams that they shouldn't be losing to, like the Orlando Magic. Not sure how that happens, but like I said, I think they have a lot of team building to do, and I think they'll get better throughout the year. So, still got high hopes for them and Luka, because Luka's dominating the paint this year, which is like last year I think 20% of his shots were in the paint. This year it's 40%, which is like he doubled it. I thought that was pretty insane.
What's he averaging a game right now?
Before last game it was like 36. It's probably like low 30s right now, because he only put up like 24 last game against the Magic. But the fact that he's driving in the paint so much, we've seen how effective he is, especially like in the playoffs. When he dominated down low in the paint, nobody can stop him. Big men, small men, 2 men, 3 men, they can't stop him. So that's a really positive sign, I think. So I'm still optimistic.
Yeah,
you got me feeling pretty optimistic. All the major contenders coming in from this season are all like negative right now. Woo!
You know, honestly though, after watching last season, you know what I missed the most? Tim Hardaway's jump shot from 3.
He pulls up so fast.
He pulls up so fast, and he gets so much height there too. I just don't know how he does it. But I think
I go in there in the gym and try to imitate it. I'm like,
no, I can't even imitate. I think I'm jumping.
every time I jump, I miss the rim.
I'm still on the ground.
Every time you jump, you don't even reach the top of my head.
I'll play 2K.
All right, I'll play
I'm talking about when I shoot.
Speaking of another Texas team coming back to what we were originally known for, let's talk about those Cowboys this week. We finally get them back. And who are they there?
It was a long week.
Mike McCarthy's old team, man.
Yep.
We're going to Lambeau for this one. I'm kind of excited.
It's going to be a good game.
So,
what are y'all thinking?
In other Cowboys speculation news, I kind of want to casually mention, I don't know if you guys heard, but Odell Beckham Jr. and Jerry Jones apparently be talking.
I've heard a little bit, but I haven't
Michael
looked into it.
Parsons like heavy on the recruiting. OBJ's like, oh, baby, man.
Did Michael Parsons come out and tweet something?
Yeah.
Before we get into OBJ talk, let's talk about the McCarthy going back to Green Bay talks. I think we should discuss both these topics.
Okay.
River, do you have any?
Okay, so I have the.
I'm sure your head's spinning right now, so let's get you while you're fresh.
How many
Let's
fingers
get you where you're going.
You're holding
Set
it
4,
for
because it's about to
stop
be
moving
4.
it, okay? You're not a fish. Anyways, oh my God,
McCarthy going back to Green Bay.
I am not a fish.
Going back to Green Bay. You good over there? To be completely honest, I don't think he'll end up going. I mean, yeah, that is where he did a lot of games with, but I think he really enjoys playing with the Cowboys. And
You say you don't think he's gonna go?
no,
To like the game, like in Lambeau.
You think he's going to go?
No, I don't
think
think
he's
this
gonna
over. We'll come
All
back.
right, so River, so we can just get some water.
I can't.
All right.
Why y'all
so
laughing?
What I think is really cool about this game is, like they had the media interview with Mike McCarthy, and they were talking to him. We were like, how you feel about Green Bay? And he's like, that's home, man. That's where my daughter was born, and that's where I have all these family members and all my friends, and he's still gonna come in there and fucking shit on them this Sunday.
He has to. He has to.
With the way this defense has been playing and the way this offense came and started their things, they started their shit against fucking Chicago. I feel really good about the state of this game. Aaron Rodgers is a little bit in disarray. I mean,
There's a lot of disarray.
I don't think there's going to be any
Just a
sympathy
little?
from McCarthy this Sunday, at all. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I'm excited for it too. As Mike McCarthy being the head coach of the Cowboys right now, going to play against his former team, the Green Bay Packers, in Lambeau. Where he coached for about like 13 years, I think it was. Or something. I think it was about that. It was like
No,
10
it sounds
13.
about right.
It was a long
Well,
time.
he took him once, too, right?
If I
He won a
remember-
Super Bowl with them.
Yep.
If I remember correctly, there was a little bit of hostility between Rodgers
Oh,
and
yeah,
McCarthy at the end of
towards
their
the end.
tenure. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
I mean, when expectations are that high all the time, like there's going to be a lot of tension. And I think the players are going to step up for him, because Mike McCarthy, he's done a lot of interviews this week, and they always ask him about Green Bay and, is it mean extra for him and stuff. He's like, no, I'm just there to win. Like, I just want to win. He's like, I got all this family. Like, ask me when I'm going to get in. Like, I'm coming in on Wednesday or something. He's like, no. Like, it's just like any other game. I'm coming on Saturday, the day before. We're going to prep. I'm here to win the game. It'll be nice. He said he had a lot of nice memories. Of course, he won a Super Bowl there, the only Super Bowl he's won. So I'm sure he'll enjoy going back. But I think I heard who was it? It was Michael Gallup. He was on an interview with like ESPN, I think it was, and he ESPN or NFL Network, but he was talking about, like, he kind of slipped up and was like, yeah, Mike McCarthy's been like a little bit extra emotional this week, which is like the exact opposite that McCarthy has been saying all week during interviews. So I thought It's kind of unique that he said that, and they're like, wait, he has been? Like, you know, like, what does that mean? Like, what? They're like, well, he's just been mentioning it more, and he's been talking about it more, and like basically like the prestige of playing at Lambeau and stuff like that. And I think his players really want to get this dub for him. I mean, they want to get the dub anyways, but you know, we've had some bad run-ins with the Packers recently, so I think there's some extra motivation.
But you have to say though, like Gallup's going to come out and say he's more emotional about it because you have all these other people that are coming in and saying to Mike McCarthy, how are you going to be playing? This is your former team and all that. So Mike McCarthy's making it more apparent to the team. No, like I know that everyone's saying this, but he's gonna have to be bringing it up more. You know, so Gallup could just be seeing it wrong. Like, hey, like he's saying it more. He's talking about it more, so he might be emotional, but he may just be saying it more because the press is talking about it more.
That's fair. I just thought it was funny that he said the opposite, and everybody started listening more to like, wait, what'd you say? He's been emotional.
Yeah.
Where are y'all watching this?
We'll talk about it later.
I wonder if Michael Gallup's like projecting a little bit. I wonder if Michael Gallup himself is feeling quite emotional because he knows that very soon he could very easily be wide receiver number 3 on this team. I would like to talk about what's got
brings us into the next segment.
I'll be completely honest with you guys. Like, I have Odell Beckham Jr. on my fantasy bench right now. I picked him up a couple weeks ago.
He picked him up second round.
You drafted him.
I did not draft him.
You drafted him.
What the fuck are they talking about? Anyway, I scooped him off the waivers and holding on.
Yeah,
And I was like, maybe he'll go to the Chiefs. Maybe he'll go to the Packers. Who knows where he'll go? And the reason this is almost like devastating for my fantasy team is because I have like 3 other Cowboys players in my roster. But lo and behold, I think Odell Beckham Jr. might be coming to town too. He was tweeting with Micah Parsons back and forth a little bit, and apparently Micah Parsons was like, "Come on, man!" And Odell Beckham Jr. was replying. He was saying, "I got family up there. Like, it's definitely an option." He's mentioned the Cowboys several times as one of his possible top destinations. I believe right now it's between the Cowboys, the Bills, the Niners, and there was like one other team. And yeah, I mean, so far.
The only thing I have to say on that is I thought the trade. I have a
question for you. What team would trade away Odell Beckham Jr. right now?
He's a free agent. He's coming off an injury.
Come on, Aaron.
So nobody's picked him up.
Come to Dallas.
Would
I mean, that would be
Odell
amazing.
be wide receiver 1 on this team?
No,
Is he more of a
absolutely.
complimentary role? Is he wide receiver 3?
no.
I think him and Gallup and CeeDee Lamb would all really get along.
I think
It'd be good.
OBJ would be a great deep threat.
He'd be like
Exactly.
Yeah, he'd be like he was with the Rams. He was number 3 until Robert Woods went down, and then he had to step in. And we have very injury-prone receivers, so
The only reason I question whether or not he'd at least be number 2 is because since Michael Gallup's returned from the ACL,
have you seen Michael Gallup?
Michael Gallup has not been challenging the field very well.
But wait.
Look at
Yeah,
it.
he's
Let's
been
talk about-
mainly like
But he's
quick
got an
slants.
opportunity.
It's been
That's
mainly
Let's
quick
talk about
slants.
a receiver that hasn't been able to show it yet. What about James Washington?
True.
You know
James
what I mean? Like
Washington
what
is,
when Washington comes back, is he going to jump into that role or not?
James Washington is on track to come back. I haven't heard much about his
He was supposed to
actual
play this
return date.
Yeah.
Is he scheduled to play this upcoming
He
week?
said before the bye. They said he was supposed to come back this
Yeah,
week.
it's
I
probably
haven't heard
next
any
week.
reports been playing this far yet.
Is
I
he
feel
even
like
better than Noah Brown?
I mean,
That's
now
what
that
I'm
we're
saying.
talking about Dallas, I would, if y'all don't mind, I would really like to deep down into our schedule. Other than this game, I think our schedule is going to be really.
Dude, this is one of the easiest games I've
really
ever made
deep.
schedule. If you ask me, our hardest games are coming up against the Eagles.
Yeah, that's the
Vikings. We got
Eagles.
more
That's the
fun
only
teams.
one. That's the only one that I'm really worried about.
This is
But
definitely.
other
a
than
playoff
that,
team.
I look forward to that game so much.
yeah, so much. I hope that we
I
can
want
win to
them
that.
to be
But
so mad coming back.
I'm just saying that the rest of our schedule, it's really just going to prep us. It slowly gets a little bit more difficult, but I think it's going to prep us to versus the Eagles. Sorry, I didn't mean to burn on that one. But I think this our next schedule, it's going to be. I think we shouldn't win another game. To be completely honest,
We shouldn't win another one?
No, we shouldn't lose another game.
We should win or lose?
No. We should
the
win.
same can be said about
We
the
should
Eagles.
win.
They have a very easy schedule, and obviously we'd like to win a division rather than getting into the wild card spot. But let's go ahead and transition to these game picks. That was the last topic we had to talk about, right?
Got a lot of good games this weekend. I'm kind of excited for some of them.
All right, of course we have the Falcons and Panthers right now playing. Panthers up 9-0. This is what happens when we do our late podcast.
Had to go see Black Panther: Wakanda Forever.
Black Panthers from the
What is it
Panthers
really
playing.
out? Is it out?
Yeah, it's fire. It was fire.
Dude, I can't wait till for Avatar too. But anyways,
Alright. So we're just gonna go ahead and skip on to Sunday. We do have a game in Germany,
Hang on,
which is
hang on,
very
hang on,
interesting.
hang on. Who's gonna win this game?
is
I
it
mean,
Tampa?
Panthers are up 9-0, so
9-0 and like what? Fucking it's like halftime yet?
Is it halftime yet?
there's 4 minutes till halftime.
You guys don't have any?
I
faith
think
in the
Falcons will
coming
pull
back?
through. I think Falcons will pull through.
You wanna
And
make a bet?
I'm willing to make
Four
another
shots.
shot. Another shot. One more.
I'll do 8 shots.
One more shot for
one
Falcons to win.
Double or nothing. We'll make a bet that for one shot if the podcast is still going. Otherwise, it'll carry over until next week. Actually, it's 10-0. Does that change your mind? Guys, can you-
No.
Wait, who's he betting on? Atlanta?
Yes.
Yeah.
Not the worst bet. I still think Carolina won this game. Like,
I think
mean, they're playing at home,
I think
it's
Atlanta
raining.
is more of a second half game, anyways.
You might be right. You might just be right. I mean, it is the Panthers. 10 points isn't that unsurmountable, but I just really don't
And
care
that's
about
really
it.
all they're going to score,
That's
anyways.
fair. I mean, to be fair, with the Bucks playing the Seattle Seahawks this weekend and them leading the division, if they lose that game, which is very possible the way Gino's been playing, I really think that the winner of this game is holding the division title for
They
the
would
week.
be, yeah.
So.
You see, I totally
It's a
agree.
little important. It's a little
I
important.
totally agree with what you're saying. You know, when it really comes down, even with Brady dealing with everything that he's dealing with, you know, the divorce and everything, I think Brady's really got a fire under him lately. You know, he won last game, and yeah, he did win. He did lose back to back, but I think he can pull through for this game and really beat the Seahawks. You know, it's going to be a really good game. I think
They are playing at home.
yeah, and it's a really good game to
Is
watch.
that the pick we're on?
That's probably the one
Yes.
game that I want to watch
Oh, wow,
this
that's
Sunday.
actually
Other
the pick
than
they were
other
on.
than the Cowboys,
Seahawks at Bucks.
other than the
At
Cowboys, that's the
8:30.
game I want to watch.
They're at home, but it's in Germany.
That's a Germany game. That's a Germany game.
It's at 8:30 in the morning. You know what? I say Tom Brady is better prepared than anybody else in this game because he probably wakes up at like 4:30
That's
in the
gonna
morning.
be.
And so I think he just lights them on fire because everybody else is asleep.
That's gonna be
They don't-
really brutal for the Seahawks.
He's the only one that doesn't go out to the club.
So their flight. I was actually talking to Wei Tai about this. Their flight is gonna be like it's set to be like 6 a.m. their time or whatever. And by the time they're getting there, it's like on a short turnover from I guess whatever they're doing prior to this. And apparently they're gonna be pretty tired, pretty physically weak up the whole time. They still got to practice that day. I don't know, man. Could be rough.
I mean, same with the Seahawks.
They're gonna be
Even though Tampa Bay is going to be tired, Seahawks are going to be tired anyways. You know, so I think
got
it's
the
going to be
Bucks
a
covering
really
the spread
even
at
game.
2.5.
I think Tampa Bay is going to pull through with
Bucks cover the spread.
2.5.
2.5. I think it's going to be a touchdown lead. You know, whether it go into overtime or not, I think Tampa Bay is going to pull through.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna give this one to the Seahawks all day and night. Geno Smith, regardless of how fucking tired and sore he is, finds a way to get it done.
What about you, Dawson?
I'm gonna go Seattle on this game. Tampa Bay's just trash.
If you lose the Commanders, bro, I'm not.
Tampa
picking
Bay's
them.
been playing terrible.
All right, moving on to the next game. We got the Vikings at Bills. Buffalo's favored by 3.5.
I'll take the lead on this one. I think that spread's a little bit low, to be completely honest.
The Vikings are 7-1. They have a better record than the
Yeah,
Bills.
they have a better record than the Bills. Bills are looking to be dealing with possibly Josh Allen either not playing or playing through a UCL, it's an injury. So I mean,
Oh yeah, you are right about that. You are right about
it's
that.
a tough game all across the
I
board.
think it's going to be a really good game to watch, but I think Bills will pull it through and have more than definitely. They'll definitely cut through this rate.
What do you think, Dawson?
I'm taking Minnesota money line here. Absolutely. I mean, it's going to be a high-scoring game. Bills, defense-wise, are still dealing with some injuries, and you still have Josh Allen dealing with that injury as well. And he's known for his arm strength there. So I don't know if I can really trust him. I mean, with that UCL injury, it's tough to say. I mean, of course, he does pass it down low to Stephon Diggs a lot. He still has a decent run player behind him. So, but I think that Minnesota, Kirk Cousins, after that dance with those chains on, you know what I'm saying? He was dancing real hard with that. You had that what's his face come out on the field and dance like him too. So I think he's going to carry that over. He's got that dog in him for sure. So I think Minnesota's going to come out win this one. Justin Jefferson's going to have himself a receiving touchdown on this one.
Vikings are definitely feeling themselves. I'll give you that. And the way this game's looking right now, it looks like it could be a trap game for the Bills very easily. I mean, not more so because the Vikings are bad, but more so because the Bills are so banged up, and I feel like a lot of people feel like the Bills are going to win. But honestly, I don't put this in the hands of Josh Allen. I do think Josh Allen should miss this game this week, but I still take the Bills regardless. I think this is a Case Keenum, Stephon Diggs revenge type of game. The way the script unfolds, we'll see. They say he's expected to play through it, which from what I've heard is going to be pretty damn tough for throwing motion because apparently it's on the arm that he uses too.
Yep.
I'm still a firm believer the Bills find a way to win this game. They're just a tough football team, and honestly, I feel like the Vikings, regardless of what their record is, have played a lot of really soft teams. Even though they're not known for only really having trouble against the NFC Beast, but we'll see. What do you think?
In the words of the Detroit Lions head coach, I don't care if he's got 3 butt cheeks, 1 eyeball. Josh Allen's going to play this game because that's just how tough he is. He doesn't miss any games. He takes contact. He loves contact. If he has to run for 200 yards, he'll do it to win the game. So I'm gonna take the Bills for sure. I think Vikings are soft, just like I always have thought they were soft with Kirk Cousins. It's not a primetime game, but I still think Bills will handle business, especially coming after that.
Let me ask you this: what time is the game at?
It's at noon.
I think it's 3:25, right?
It's not on Monday.
Not on Monday.
It's
not
not on
Sunday.
Thursday. It's not on Sunday night.
Nope.
He's gonna perform well. That's it.
Nah, not against the Bills defense.
We'll see.
We'll see.
What we got next?
I'm putting 4 shots up for it.
All right. Moving on to the next game, we got the Lions at Bears.
I dare you.
Justin Fields.
Chicago's favored by 3. In DraftKings, I would take Fields if he hasn't skyrocketed in price because the Lions defense can't stop anybody, and Fields will have a field day probably.
I mean,
Fields have a field day.
I'll kick us off here a little bit because I'm kind of curious here. You know, I feel like the Bears, with all of this fantasy value you keep seeing in Justin Fields and all the momentous things they're doing in these games, they gotta finally fucking win one, right? Against the fucking what? The Lions still have 1 win.
Lions are good at losing. They got 2 wins.
2 wins. Oh, I don't even know who the second person they beat was. That's crazy.
Green Bay.
Ah, yeah. That makes sense. I'll still give this one to the Bears, which is weird because I don't think I've picked the Bears for like any game this season, which has been pretty funny so far. But the Lions are really good at losing football games, and the Bears have a little fire under their ass. I mean, no Chase Claypool or anything, but Justin Fields is definitely starting to show up. So
They still have Claypool?
I mean, I'm just saying we haven't seen any like Chase Claypool production yet, but there's still been offensively in these games. Were you gonna say something there?
I don't know. Is it my turn to say something?
Well, you said
He said
Well, okay. So how I feel about this game, Bears against Detroit. I totally agree with you, Anthony. The Bears are really good at losing. And
Bears?
Right?
They're both good at losing.
they're both good at losing. Yes.
Yeah,
I guess
but
you didn't say it.
I think Justin Fields. This is going to be probably one of his higher passing games. I
against
think
the
he's
worst
gonna,
run defense when he's been running for
they can't
yeah,
guard the pass either.
but I think he's going to get at least 200 plus yards.
He got
passing.
200 rushing, 300 passing.
But I think he's going to be running all over this Detroit. Not only is he going to be passing, but I think he's going to have at least 1 rushing touchdown. Whether it be 1, maybe 2, but I think Chicago 100% is going to win this game.
Who you got?
I'll let Dawson go first.
I'm going to take Detroit on this one against Chicago. Even though Fields has been running over them, they just lost 2 of their best defensive players. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I'm thinking
shootout.
It's going to be a shootout. I'm going to take the over on points. I don't know what it is, but just give it to me. Even if it's over 50, I think they're still going to hit it. Justin Fields is going to have a field day. I do agree with that, Aaron. He's going to be running over them. He's going to get probably over 100 rushing yards. But Detroit, even though they're terrible at losing games, in the second half they're going to come out. I think they're going to probably break that lead that Chicago has, and they're going to end up winning the game barely. It's going to be a close game, but I think Detroit's going to have this one.
Yeah. I'm going to go with the Bears. They only got 1 to cover the spread in the 1 by 4. That might be kind of close. I think it'll be a high-scoring game, unless it's like bad weather in Chicago. I'm not really sure what it's like over there. It might be pretty bad, and then if it's that way, then it's definitely gonna be a run-heavy game, which definitely favors the Bears. Lions try to run the balls, but I'll take the Bears. I'll take them to cover too.
Lions pretty good at running the football though. To be
They
honest.
are. I mean, they got good running backs too, but like Justin Fields can run better than any of them.
Well, you never run better than Jared Goff. So
All right, it's a slight advantage. All right, moving on to the next game. We got Broncos at Titans.
Malik
The
Willis
Titans are favored by 3.
I believe it's still.
I think
Malik Willis.
Tannehill is like 50-50 to come back in this game. He was like in the air last week, so I think he'll come back this
I
game.
think Tannehill makes a difference. Like, I know they've been winning games, and I know
Definitely
it's
makes a
just been Derrick Henry like all the damn night. But I really feel like he like solidifies me picking the Titans. But if they're playing the Broncos, I mean, it's still pretty easy for me to pick the Titans. Let Russ cook. I'm
right?
sorry.
No, honestly, like I
It
mean,
looked better last week.
I like to hope that Denver will come out of this bye and to perform well, and Russ will finally have that fire in him, the dog in him. But
Chase
I
Edmonds,
just and-
Latavius Murray, Melvin Gordon, three-headed monster.
I mean,
got a little more work with that.
they do got some scary stuff there, but I don't know. I just like until it's kind of like a prove it point for him. Like, hey, prove me wrong, but I'm voting against them here. I mean, I think that it's gonna be a close game. I'll go and take the spread there as well. I think that until Denver has shown some sort of fire, maybe that Chase Edmonds coming into the play to this playbook. I mean, Chase Edmonds, hopefully he's just running the ball and not trying to catch the ball because he can't catch the ball because we saw that in Miami. But I like I said, I think that if I'm wrong, then well, great. Denver maybe is back for revival. But until that they show me, I'm still going with the opposite team here.
It's less about the Denver's offense for me. It's more about Derrick Henry. For me, and
Right?
truthful.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, trade away Bradley Chubb. Derrick Henry's gonna eat.
has to.
We got.
Well, to be completely honest, I think Derrick Henry is going to walk all over this team. You know,
he's gonna
because, I mean, yeah, Denver's defense is, it's all right, but I think he's literally going to, I think Derrick Henry's going to probably have his best game this week against Broncos.
He shot like 40 points before.
Yeah, I think he's going to be getting, I think Derrick Henry's going to get 3+ touchdowns.
I think they would have won last week if they kept winning the ball at Derrick Henry, but they stopped.
But
Yeah, that was all coaching. Hopefully, they learn
yeah,
from
we
it.
don't want to talk about that game. But I think going to Denver, you know, I mean, I really would love Russell Wilson to really show up and prove me wrong, like Dawson said. You know, I really agree with you, but a part of me just feels that Russell Wilson's going to get 3+ sacks, and I think this game is going to really come down to.
Crazy.
That'd be wild.
Russell Wilson getting sacks?
Derrick Henry's been taken down.
Oh,
it's
Russell
Wilson!
No. Russell Wilson is if he doesn't get trampled on this game, hopefully he comes out even.
He's
you know,
gonna do the
but
trick.
So who are you taking?
I'm taking Titans. You know,
He's
I mean,
taking Russell Wilson over 3 sacks.
I took Tyson.
All right, so Titans. Who you got?
He picked it. I just
Yeah, he took
picked
Titans.
Titans,
You
you
know,
got.
yeah, cover 4.
Easy.
Sorry, that wasn't.
Derrick Henry will.
Yep.
All right, next game is gonna be Jaguars at Chiefs.
Ooh, that's a good
Kansas City's favored by 9.5.
I'll start this one.
Go ahead.
As for my survival pool pick this week,
Shit, I still didn't think that.
it's going to be KC this week against Jacksonville. I think it's going to be a good game, but, I mean, come on. Pat Mahomes is a dog. He's throwing like crazy. All these wide receivers he has so many weapons. CEH doesn't even have to perform anymore.
Right.
CEH, I mean, it sucks,
He's
that,
in.
it sucks that if you drafted him because Pacheco's starting to come into here. You have McKinnon taking snaps from him. So CEH, I feel like he's like not even there anymore. What did he have like what 5% snap share last week? I don't know.
Aaron, what was his percent snaps?
I don't know, but
Who you got?
I'm saying KC's gonna win this one. Besides the fact that CEH is irrelevant on this team anymore.
I feel like we're just taking shots at CH.
Oh, you can talk about your 1-8 fantasy team if you want.
Hey, I gotta win.
Woo! He lost another one.
My record's still better than yours, the CEH. All right.
Let's talk about the other league then.
All right.
Anyways,
Better than Najee.
KC is gonna win this game for sure.
They're going to cover 9.5.
It's gonna cover.
All right.
They're gonna win by 14.
I love. I'm gonna hop in real quick because I love just interjecting right here. I want to talk about the best running back on this game, and it is not CEH. And it is not Jerick McKinnon. It is not whoever the Isaiah
You're gonna say
Pacheco.
Etienne?
It's my boy fucking Etienne.
Yeah, I hope so. He's like a
The
first round
deep-
draft pick.
This guy's tripping.
The defense for the Kansas City Chiefs has been all right, but I think they're going to struggle this week. Christian Kirk's been building more rapport with Trevor Lawrence here lately. ITN stepped up as running back one. This defense has still been keeping them in games. I really feel like this is going to be a really close game. I don't want to pick the Chiefs to cover the spread, and for me, it's like a coin flip on the money line, but I'm actually going to take the Jags on the money line because I like Jags. January 1st.
That's tough.
Oh, yeah.
Interesting. I do think Trevor Lawrence is going to have a great game because Chiefs defense is terrible. He does have a really good connection with Christian Kirk, so on fantasy options, I'm looking for both of those because they're very cheap on DraftKings FanDuel. Kirk's been getting the points without getting touchdowns, so he gets a touchdown, boom, he's over 20. Definitely recommend looking into those double stacks for the Jags game because it's going to be a high scoring game. They're going to be throwing the ball a lot. I don't know if Edney, whatever how you say his name, is going to have
ITN. It's
ITN
3 letters, bro.
is going to
ITN.
have a good game or not because they might be playing from behind so much that they're just not able to run the ball. And for some reason, the Jags, even ITN was like a great pass catcher in college, they're just not throwing him the ball at all. They're only running him the ball.
So do you think the CH will have a better game?
You heard it here. CEH monster game gonna carry me to victory. But I'll take the Chiefs to win, but not to cover the spread. All right.
Okay, so how I feel about this game, I mean, it's KC. Last time I voted against them,
You took 4 shots.
I took 4 shots. Okay, and
Do it again.
Is that
yeah, and I'll do it again. But no, I'm not picking the Jags. Like, come on, are you stupid? Look,
I'd
I
be stupid if I
think,
bet 4 shots on it.
I think the Chiefs. What's the spread?
9.5.
9.5. I think they'll cover it and get more. I think this is going to be a blowout game. If you want to watch it, feel free to watch it. But honestly, that's a game you don't even have to watch. To me, I think Casey's going to win it. You don't even have to watch it.
Every time they doubt me, they're always wrong. So
I'm changing my shirt.
you know who to
Breaking news.
Breaking news.
Mavs lost to the
I
Wizards.
can't even with you.
Mavs lost to the Wizards.
And Clayton Kershaw signed a 1-year deal with the Dodgers.
Oh.
Swing and a miss by the Rangers again.
All right. Well,
Moving on
Rangers
to
and
the-
Mavs are done. It's over. No, sorry.
Moving on to the next game, we got the Browns at the Dolphins. Miami is favored by 3.5.
I'll take the lead on this one if y'all don't mind.
I mind.
Well,
Just keep talking, River.
so Dolphins, obviously, with Tua back and him having Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill out there, I think Dolphins are definitely going to cover the spread. Now, I think in the first half, it's going to be really close. If not, the Browns might be leading. But I think the second half, Dolphins are going to come back, show up. And I think this is going to be a high-scoring points for Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill. And I think they're both going to at least get 1 to 2 touchdowns. And I think this is overall going to be a blowout for Miami.
Yeah, I'd like to take next. I will take the Dolphins to cover the spread because the Dolphins are good at stopping the rush, which is what the Browns are good at doing. And the Browns are terrible at stopping the pass, which is what Miami's good at doing. So there's 2 opposites working against each other. Miami should have a pretty easy win.
Are we sure the Dolphins are good at stopping the run?
Yeah. Their defensive
They're not good at
tackles
stopping
be,
the
their
QB
defensive tackles be
I'll
backing
be
them up.
bashing you right now.
Look,
I think it's like 3.5 yards per carry, that, or like 3.8 they're allowing.
I thought it was 3.9, 3.8.
Yeah, which is
I
pretty
thought it
good.
was
I mean,
4.1.
if you can consistently get that, eventually you're gonna stop them for shorter than that. Oh.
when we're talking good run defense, it's almost always something that I feel like I legitimately lean more in the direction of, because run defense is a good thing.
Dolphins is definitely bad at stopping the pass.
Now, don't get me wrong. With them having Nick Chubb and Amari Cooper, it is going to be a really good game to watch. But I really think Miami's going to pull through. I can't more agree with y'all.
So, you're not agreeing with shit because I disagree. Anyways, I think Nick Chubb is a fucking animal. I don't think their run defense, regardless of how good it may be, is going to do much for keeping this game from being close. I don't think it's going to be a blowout by any means. They have good corners as well. I mean, I know you got Tyreek Hill, I know you got Jalen Waddle, but this Browns team has been playing pretty good as well. I think it's going to be a close game. I'll still take coverage. I'll still take.
And I
Miami.
said be a blowout.
Yeah, I'm just talking in regards to Drunky McGee over here. I think I'll still take Miami in this game. I think it's going to be a close one, though. I actually don't want to bet on the spread. I'll take a money line. As far as Browns go, though, you guys sort of get excited. It's coming soon. Jacoby Brissett's about to get benched. We're almost there. I don't know if you guys realize we're like, what, 1 week away, right? It's 11 game suspension. We're in week 10.
That's true.
2 more weeks to return of massage therapist QB1, you know what I'm saying?
He's gonna feel his way.
What did he get suspended for?
Everything.
All right, Dawson. So, what do you think? What do you think about this game?
We'll address that later.
So, I do think that you brought up some good points, Anthony. I do think you did, because I do think Nick Chubb is still a monster. But do I think he's going to be a monster against Miami? I do not think he's going to be a monster against Miami. And the reason why is because they're going to be playing from behind. I mean, Tua's is it 2 weeks straight over 350 passing yards?
Browns aren't like most teams. They don't ditch the run. They don't even give a fuck about the scoreboard. They're used to playing with Baker Mayfield, bro. They just fucking make them in.
You still have to run the ball.
Yeah, I mean,
Maybe Nick Chubb will pass it. I don't know.
Nick Chubb's going to throw a touchdown.
Thanks.
No. But
try to mark
I
him,
do
don't worry.
think Miami's going to cover the spread here. No question about it. I mean, I do think it's going to be a closer game.
Also,
It's gonna be a
David
high-scoring game.
Njoku should be coming back this week.
Potentially.
I don't think that helps them because, like you said, they're a run-heavy offense. So Miami's going to win this game because they're only going to be focused on the run. In
Miami.
Is that
Cover
all?
4.
I mean, yeah, Miami. Even though in fantasy, Nick Chubb is projected to get the most points he has this year projected, I can't agree with y'all more. You know, Miami for the win.
What's that next pick?
Great insight, guys. All right, we're moving on to the Texans at Giants. Giants are favored by 4.5 against the 1-6-1 Texans.
Giants.
Kind of like Dawson's fantasy team, but
Giants.
better.
They have less losses. Giants. That's all I gotta say. Giants spread. Saquon.
Yeah, don't even get me started. The Texans.
Run defense.
They're averaging like 3 yards before they contact the person running the ball. Saquon Barkley's gonna go insane.
You can take out the wide receivers. You can take out Daniel Jones. You can take
Just
out the
give it to
offensive line.
Saquon.
Literally, just put like a 1v, like 11-man field going on the field with Saquon versus the Texans defense, and Saquon will score every time.
I have Saquon in every DraftKings that I made.
He's gonna be expensive, but buy him.
He is expensive, but I buy every single running back that goes against Texans, and I have not been let down yet.
Saquon's still what, like number 2, number 3, something like that.
He's about to be number 1.
Is he
No,
gonna
he's
go?
about to be
He's not gonna backwards. Fuck it.
And
Yeah,
they
I
don't really
told
have
you-
anything else to
You
go
are.
to. So, Giants, Saquon covers the spread.
I agree with you. They cover the spread for sure. You know, Saquon has been showing up like the old Saquon. You
You're
know,
about to see the old Saquon for sure.
and I think this old but new Saquon is really showing up, and I think he might be breaking some records that he has. You know, I think he's showing up this year. You know, so yeah, I agree with Giants winning.
There you go.
River, how many shots did you take again?
4.
Cover
4!
You already too easy. Giants win.
Might as
Cover
well
the spread.
hold it
That's it. Go on the next pick because there's nothing else.
All right, we got Saints at Steelers. New Orleans by 1.5.
I just wonder how that setup had worked. If River was like 2 or 3, just fucking just all right. Saints Steelers. Where's this at?
Steelers. It's in Pittsburgh. Good old Pittsburgh.
Give me a little bit of a stretch here, but I believe T.J. Watt is making a return this week. Is what
he?
they're saying.
That is very interesting.
So T.J. Watt, if he is healthy and plays at T.J. Watt levels, that changes the whole dynamics of this team.
Changes everything.
Andy Dalton took some
Andy
shots
Dalton's gonna get
last
destroyed by
week.
him.
Andy Dalton took some shots last week already, kind of like River at the beginning of this podcast. And he is apparently kind of banged up coming into this game. They just lost Michael Thomas, and there's still question tag on Jarvis Landry and whether or not he's going to play. And I mean,
He's coming back.
Yeah, Alvin Kamara may be a beast in all these past couple games, but I think T.J. Watt is like the resurgence of the Steelers defense.
Kamara actually didn't do anything last week though.
These last couple games, he's had
He did all right
decent
last
yeah,
week.
but
No, he did terrible last week.
Yeah, I don't know how he last week. I'm just talking about in recent weeks. He's been kind of revitalized a little bit, but I think I think the Steelers said they're going to make a little bit more of an effort to run with Jalen Warren instead of Najee Harris and give him more George Pickens looks. So I'm looking at the Steelers team, and I think they can actually beat the Saints this week. Even though the Saints defense is good, we'll see.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to second that as well. I'm gonna say Steelers to win this one.
Only because of TJ Watt.
Olave's probably gonna have a good game against the Steelers because Steelers haven't been able to guard anything. But the only thing I will say is I disagree with Anthony over here a little bit. I think Najee gets a rushing touchdown.
I'm just talking about what Coach Mike Tomlin said. This is not Anthony talking. That's Coach Mike Tomlin.
Mike Tomlin's wrong. Yeah, I know he's the head coach, but Mike Tomlin's wrong.
Mike Tomlin's
never wrong.
Yeah. Mike Tomlin doesn't make decisions as to what happens on the
No,
field.
absolutely not. Najee's going to get a rushing touchdown this game.
We'll see.
Even though
He actually controlled Antonio Brown. Give the man some respect.
Yeah, right?
He was using that mad controller. He was mashing Y every play.
Yep. Why every play?
What do you got, River?
Well, I disagree.
Hang on. Can we talk for a second? Are you putting salt in the fucking Miller Lite?
Yeah, dude.
All right, anyways, what's your pick?
I'm pretty fucking far gone. I think who's the teams?
All right, Derek, who do you have?
New Orleans. New Orleans. I think New Orleans are going to win. I think Kamara is going to go off and
He's coming back. He's coming back to life.
walk. He is literally going to show up and prove the Steelers wrong. Like,
He's gonna prove them wrong.
The Steelers are going to be like, who the fuck the he? You know?
Who the fuck did he?
Who that he didn't think they could beat these Saints?
Who you got?
Who he?
Who day? Who he?
Who that he? Who that? Who
You know
that
what?
me? You know what? This is getting out of control now, guys.
Okay.
I'm going to go with the Steelers because I think TJ Watt is a game wrecker, and they're going to be very excited to have such a phenomenal talent back in their lineup. And they're playing Pittsburgh.
Best
Crowd's
player
gonna
the
be
Cowboys
rowdy.
never drafted.
And Mike Tomlin just really doesn't, he doesn't have losing seasons, so he's got to win at some point. And who better against an Andy motherfucking Dalton? All right, he loves to give games away, or at least not win him. He'll hand the ball off.
Are you saying he's the Oprah of football? You get a win. You get a win. You get a win.
You know what?
That was really bad.
There's been some bad lights coming
That was
up
really
earlier,
bad.
so I'm not
I'm
gonna
gonna
talk
head
about
out.
it.
All right,
That
yeah. Peace out.
was really bad.
Steelers money line because all I gotta do is win.
Okay.
Win.
Who's projected to win? Steelers?
New Orleans. All right, Colts at the shit show Raiders.
Colts are so dog shit.
Oh.
Give me the Colts.
I said shit show
This
Raiders.
is going to
What
be
about
a
the
shit
Colts?
show. I'll take the lead on this one.
The Colts are so bad.
They should both just not show up to this game and forfeit.
Yeah.
This is like Pee Wee
Forfeit,
football.
take the tie.
It's like, you know what?
It's not going to hurt
It was
any of
raining a
them.
little bit. Let's
It's
just. One of my players has COVID. I don't know if I want to risk it. Let's just call it.
I mean, I'd like to talk a little bit on this game. Let's talk about Darren Waller going into IR. He is literally in
Should've
the
traded
injury.
Hunter Renfro and IR
Mhm.
too.
He is not only is he doubtful in fantasy,
All
but like
over
Darren
here.
Waller is in the injury list.
Is he?
They can only throw it to Devontae.
With this said,
Red.
not only do I think with Darren Waller in that Raiders would lose. I'm sorry, I have a couple buddies that are Raider fans, but this is not y'all's year, and y'all suck booty hole. And whether y'all be versing the Lions or not, y'all gonna lose no matter what. I'm taking the Colts. Y'all booty.
I'm gonna take the Raiders because Devontae Adams is the only good player on this field, and
146 yards in like the first half last
I'm
week.
not
That's
gonna
crazy.
take him to cover the spread because I think the final score will be 5-3 Raiders. Let's go.
Devontae Adams still probably have like 30 fantasy points.
Yeah.
But yeah, give me the
You
Colts.
get down to one. I get Josh Jacobs 4 times.
I just have no faith in the Raiders to beat anybody this season. You could literally pin me against any fucking team. I'm gonna pick against the
Go ahead
Raiders.
and put this up on the screen right now where Raiders
Cover 4.
Raiders
It's not
are
cover
literally
4.
Is
Raid-
that cover 4?
no, it's not.
Wait, are you?
You said Colts.
Did he say Colts?
Yeah, I said Colts.
Oh, I stopped listening to him like
You
at the
said
beginning of
Colts
this
though, right?
podcast.
Why you stop listening to me?
You said
Wait.
Colts.
Who picked the Raiders?
I picked the Raiders.
He picked the Raiders.
Anyways,
This guy.
so
this
right
fucking
now,
guy.
what you need to be put up on the screen right now is the last 3 weeks of the Vegas games where they've led in the first half and then
The Colts don't have a head coach.
lost in the second half. Terribly.
You want to bet on it?
What
you
were
want to
they-
bet
what
on
The
it?
were
Colts head coach has zero coaching experience.
What
Let's
was
bet on
Vegas?
it.
What was
Let's bet on it.
Vegas?
Everybody
leading?
takes 2 shots.
What was Vegas leading last week?
Yeah, you want to take 4?
No.
Last week they blew like a fucking like.
I will bet
27
2
to
shots.
0.
Okay, I'll make that
2
bet.
shots? Okay,
I'll
I
bet
agree
2
with you.
shots.
I'll bet on that.
I agree with you.
2 shots?
2 shots.
2 shots.
Are you willing to bet
2
2
shots.
shots
The
on?
Raiders will win.
I haven't even made my pick yet, and y'all are making.
Well, you
shot
keep
bets.
talking about the demographic.
Yeah,
about
you're
how
talking about the
Raiders.
the coaches.
You literally just asked me to put the
You know,
demographic.
by the
demographic of
statistics,
how
you
shit
know,
the Raiders are.
You're literally
Vegas,
like young
since they're
children
losing,
right now.
they're losing a lot of key players to injuries. I think Matt Collins is a good pickup in fantasy, especially with Darren Waller and Hunter for a while. I think that he'll definitely be getting some more targets. So that's a good pickup for fantasy relevance. Doesn't mean that Vegas is going to win this game. No, it does not. I think Indianapolis is going to win this game. They have a tougher defense, and they're just going to double coverage the under.
Fantasy
You know,
relevance.
adding on to that, you know,
Hopkins.
Dawson's
Or not Darren
totally
Hopkins,
correct
sorry.
because
Sorry.
not only Darren Waller's out, they have
Devontae Adams.
they have an offensive tackle out, they have a defensive tackle out.
The Colts
You know,
don't have a head
the Raiders just keep adding up their IR. You know,
You don't need a head coach to
before
be
we
Las
know
Vegas.
it. You know, Derek Carr is going to be on that card.
Don't need a head coach.
You know,
All right,
Derek Carr has nobody. You know, and it is literally
Yeah,
up to
Devontae
Devontae
Adams,
Adams.
Josh
It is
Jacobs.
literally up to Devontae Adams, but I don't
least
think
they have a head
Devontae
coach.
Adams can.
I mean, it's not the one they started the year with.
You know, I mean,
Indianapolis
that's
is
your 2 shots that you're gonna take. That's your 2 shots you're
Was
gonna
it John Green that
take.
got fired this year or last year?
Last year. Fantasy value more so than Matt Collins. Let's say go Farville or whatever, because Farville I think is a good replacement for Waller more so than Matt Collins is for Renfro. What do you got next?
All right, really, this is the only game that matters this week because the rest of them are trash.
This is the only game that matters this week.
You got Cowboys, the Dallas Cowboys,
Damn
at
boys.
Green
To win
Bay
Super Bowl?
Packers. This is basically the NFC Championship game on the line. If we were like 5 years ago, 6 years ago,
I was gonna say this is not the NFC Championship game. That's like in a couple weeks.
Dallas is favored by 4.5.
Yeah, we're not even talking about the Des catch.
Micah Parsons favors for player of the game. Doesn't show me that, but I know he is.
I was gonna say that, and I had a stat for favorite player of the game before the game went on. That's wild.
They're gonna give him a rushing touchdown.
We are indeed them boys. That's all I gotta say about this fucking week, man.
Dude.
I love coming out of this Chicago game. I love coming into this Green Bay game. We have a well-rested team. Mike McCarthy's crying because he feels bad for all these Packers fans and
He
what they're
does
gonna
not
have to
feel bad.
witness for this Sunday.
He got booed out of there. He does not feel bad.
Oh, he's definitely gonna be.
He's
doing
on a
something.
revenge tour,
I can't wait
like
till he
Drake's
does
new album.
He's gonna do the whole fake, like, you know, fake love interaction with what's his face, Aaron
Rodgers.
Rodgers. He's gonna go there. He's like, "It's good to see you, man." But when he gets home, I know McCarthy's gonna be like, "Yeah, fuck that bitch."
Oh yeah, they never liked each other.
Oh yeah, I'm happy about this game. Cowboys all day and night.
I think Mike McCarthy's going to get a rushing touchdown. He's going to get on the field.
They're gonna do one of those like
Yeah.
where they put him on the offensive line and he's like eligible receiver. He's,
Yeah.
like,
You know who could?
Oh, one handed.
You know who could get a rushing touchdown?
Michael
though?
Parsons.
Michael Parsons
I told
he's been fighting for it this bye week, dude. They talked about it a couple times in the bye week too.
That the-
Apparently, like Mike
that
Parsons
fumble
has been
return
like, "Bro,
to him?
you saw how fast I was. Put me in, coach."
I'm telling you, he's gonna get a rushing touchdown.
He will get a rushing touchdown at some point. I don't know if it'll be this season.
Yeah, do the
but-
fullback, but instead of a fullback, put Micah Parsons.
Put him as
No,
fucking
I
fullback.
do think though Michael Parsons is player of the game here. I mean, he's favored to be defensive player of the year, so I think it's gonna be a great defensive game. Aaron Rodgers has been underthrown terribly, so
No Romeo
I think
Doubs.
I think Diggs is gonna really favor
He's
from
gonna get
that. He's gonna get a pick.
It's just Diggs versus
I mean,
Lazard. No
he's gonna
Romeo
get
Doubs. They got nobody.
They
over
got
there.
no
Um,
one, so
Only
it's gonna
thing
be-
is they're gonna lean on their run, and our
Cowboys-
run defense is a little bit weaker. So hopefully that guy we traded for steps up a little bit.
Cowboys.
Hankins.
Yeah.
It's gonna be. This is your game to come back from bye off of. It's a good game for y'all.
You know, I couldn't agree more. You know, Dallas all the way. So cover 4.
I haven't even said
Cover
anything.
4. Oh, you not?
He's gonna choose Green Bay. He's a Dallas
he's
fan, but
gonna-
he's gonna
yeah.
choose Green Bay. So.
Even though he's a
You know,
Dallas
to
fan,
be
he's gonna
unbiased, I'm gonna have to choose. No, I think Hankins will help with the Cowboys' rush defense, and I mean they don't have much threat passing, and so I think we'll load the box and we're gonna go in Green Bay. We're gonna get a victory, boys. Let's go.
Cover 4.
But which
And Alex right now is probably seeing a homer right now. But it's okay.
Homer. The Packers won like 3 games this year. This is for sure their 4th.
But you know, I think this overall will be a it'll be an all right game. But I think Aaron Rodgers is going to be tackled at least 4 to 5 times by Michael Parsons. Michael Parsons is about to have a party on Aaron Rodgers.
One thing to watch out for is I don't think Zeke's going to play this week. I think
He's going to watch out for
I think
him.
Tony Pollard's going to have a great game because they don't need Tony Pollard, and you might as well let him rest up for the playoffs.
Is actually on
And he's going to walk. He is going to
what?
walk all over.
He could, but the Cowboys take a little extra care. Michael Gallup, Dak Prescott, they gave him a couple extra weeks, so why not do it with Zeke?
I've just heard that
takes the most-
Zeke is on track to play, so we'll see.
I think he definitely could play, but
I think
do we need
rest
him at 6-2 playing at 3-6?
I think we rest him.
All right,
I
now
think
moving
we
on
rest
to the
him.
next game, we got the Arizona Cardinals and the Los Angeles Rams. I think this will be a good game as long as Matthew Stafford plays.
What about you say Matthew Stafford? What about Colin Murray playing? He's got that hamstring injury. So.
Yeah, he's got a little.
I think Kyler Murray is going to play. I think both of them are going to end up playing.
Kyler Murray better play.
Right. I'm starting quarterback in my fantasy, but I think this is going to be overall a good game. It's a really hard pick for me, especially with Rams defense. Their defense with Donald on there, and I think this is going. Yeah, right, Donald Trump. I think this is going to be a really good game, and
Who you choose?
Rams are favored by 1.5 points.
1.5. I think Rams will cover the spread, and I think Rams are going to win.
Look, I think you're completely wrong in saying this game's gonna be a good game. I think this is a dog shit game. I think both these teams are fucking. Both these teams are fucking trash before their quarterbacks got hurt. And if you talk about look at the state of the Cardinals coming out of last week. You have Buda Baker in the locker room saying "Man, I'm tired of losing, man. Yo, we need to get our shit together. I'm tired of losing." Fucking throwing his shit around. No one has a word to say. And then Buda Baker, a couple hours later, gets ruled out for the next game. He's gonna be out for a couple weeks. He's hurt. So the guy that's trying to step up and be a leader for this team, only guy that feels like he's giving a shit out there. He's going to be out.
I didn't know that. I didn't know Buda Baker's out.
In that case,
I didn't know
James-
Buda was out.
James Conner's not looking very great in his return. I honestly think D-Hop's still going to do what D-Hop does, but even D-Hop had his worst fantasy output so far last week. I mean, It just looks like this team's struggling a lot. You look at the friggin' Rams. I think the Rams are in just as much disarray, and it's kind of embarrassing on both franchises' front. I think they also was the Niners, right? I think it was the Niners. Anyways, both these teams I feel like are in disarray right now. I look at these teams and I think this game's going to suck. But if I had to pick one direction over the other, I'm actually going to take... I think I'll take the Cardinals if Kyler plays. If Kyler doesn't play, give me the Rams.
I'm going to go ahead and take the Rams. They kept it close to Tampa Bay. They weren't that far off with the Niners.
Tampa Bay.
Okay, they were kind of far off with the Niners.
They were very far off with the Niners.
But Arizona hasn't looked right all year, and I'm waiting for Cliff Kingsbury to get fired, so it's got to happen soon enough. And so it's going to take the Cardinals L for that to happen. So I'll take Rams to cover that massive 1.5 point spread. They'll probably win 2-0 or something like that.
With DeAndre Hopkins being back, I think this is going to be a really... it is going to be a close game, but I think, I can't agree. I think the Rams will win, but I think DeAndre Hopkins is going to get at least 1 to 2 touchdowns. That's going to be high points.
And honestly,
high points for him.
I honestly I hate being put in these situations because I don't even want to choose this game. It's such a bad game to even.
Both teams are equally bad.
I mean, they're just so bad.
They almost got the same
but
record.
if I have to choose, I think I'm going to agree with Soda Jock over here. I think it's a good pick. If Kyler Murray plays, if he's clear to play perfectly fine, he's not limited at all, then I think he can come out and beat the Rams, who have played terrible and actually have a not so great ranking against wide receivers this year. So even if you play shadow coverage Jalen Ramsey on D-Hop, which he only plays shadow coverage 46% of the snaps anyways, you still have D-Hop, you have Rondell Moore out there performing pretty well as well. I still think Arizona's going to win this game.
And it's a coin flip for me still. I don't think there's a cover shit on that.
Yep. There's no
We shall
cover shit on
see.
that. We'll see. So what's the next pick?
All right. The night game on Sunday, we got the Chargers versus the 49ers.
Oh, interesting.
What's the spread?
The spread is San Fran by 7, which is
Okay, so do y'all mind if I take the lead on this?
Go ahead.
So how I feel about this, Chargers, they're overall a medium team. You know, they're not bad on defense. They're not bad on offense. But the 49ers, you know, they have a really stacked defense, you know, and then they have an all right offense, you know. But going into it, you know, I think the 49ers are going to win, you know, and I think they're definitely going to cover the spread, you know, without question. You know, even though in fantasy I do have the Chargers defense, but
I wouldn't play him this week.
I wouldn't.
I'm definitely not playing them this week.
I play no defense. Well, it's hard to get negative these days.
It is hard. It is hard, but I really think that the Niners have a really good chance of making playoffs and tearing up some teams. And I think the Niners are coming back this year, whether they make playoffs or not. I think they're a team that is not to look over. And I think that the Niners are a tough team.
They're 4-4 right now.
You know, even though they're 4-4, I think they're a really tough team. You know, I think they've had some really bad weeks, and I think that
So
they're a
who you
really
got?
good team. I got the Niners.
To cover.
Yes, cover the spread and more.
So we got one more week with Alex being in Barcelona, I believe. And I'm not really sure what's on the slate for next week, but if Rivers on the podcast again, I think next week we should do a drinking game. So if Rivers says the words, I really think that,
1 to 2 touchdowns.
or if you guys don't mind, I could take the lead on this one, or I couldn't agree more, you know, or completely agree more, you know, I think we should drink. I think that'd be a good game. Anyways, this game,
I'm not trying to be completely drunk at the end of the podcast.
Yeah, I'll be fucking.
What the fuck y'all talking about? Fuck y'all motherfuckers. Fuck y'all, dude. Look, y'all need to get on my fucking level, okay? I maybe should have not taken these shots, but I'm feeling good, okay? I'm feeling good with everything
Cover four
I
sports
said.
for the
You
four
know,
of us.
cover
Watch
four
your
sports,
TikTok.
okay? Look,
Alright.
I might be needing
Back
to
to
drink.
Let's
Shut
talk
the
about
fuck.
this game.
Shut the fuck.
Let's get back to football.
Christian
All right.
McCaffrey, Austin Eckler, to the best running backs in football. I mean, in this game, I definitely think to get some highlighted value. I think right now the fucking Chargers are dealing with a lot of shit between these injuries. I'm pretty sure there's still no Mike Williams. There's possible questionable Keenan Allen, but I've heard he's on track not to play, which means I think it's going to be a rough game for the Chargers, considering how good the Niners' defense has been playing and how fired up they are to get possibly Debo back this week and Christian McCaffrey back in the fold. It's looking like it's going to be a Niners game for me. I'll take whatever the spread is. Chargers know how to lose, too. They're one of those teams. Great stats. Horrible win
I'll take
ratio.
the Niners, but not to cover the spread. Niners got Christian McCaffrey. He can throw a touchdown. He can catch a touchdown. He can run a touchdown.
They can do it.
I think 49ers will definitely be on the uptrend the rest of the season. They got that one playmaker that they were missing. Debo's coming back this week. I do think that they will beat the Chargers. 7 is a lot. I mean, Chargers are missing a lot of key pieces. I think it'll be right around that 7 mark, like maybe 6 or maybe 10. Like it'll be close, but I'll go ahead. I'll take the Chargers, keep it close enough, but I'm going to take the Niners to win because they are overall the better team. They got Joey Bosa back. Niners are a team I'm worried about come playoff time for sure. Christian McCaffrey.
And everything that y'all have said has been really nice. And for those that are all about like Eckler is going to just destroy San Fran, I'm going to have to disagree with you. I'm not saying don't sit him. I still think he's a must start.
Still play.
He's still going to
Oh, definitely.
He's
Must
definitely
Sit
gonna
him
start.
against any defense.
Definitely.
But you're talking about the number 1 ranked defense against running backs right now. I mean, San Fran is really stopping the run game there. I don't know their average yard per stop right now, but I mean, San Fran has a great defense. I do think they're going to cover the spread. They're going to win, which is it's like a cover 3 3/4 because Aaron said that
They'll keep it close.
they'll keep it close, but he doesn't say cover the spread.
Well, with that added, do you really think that San Fran is number 1 defense over the Dallas? Because Dallas has been
Ranked
really
against
good
the
this year.
run, yes.
Yeah, we're pretty
San Fran,
sure. We're pretty
San
sure
Fran
against
has a
them.
great run defense. They have probably the best run defense in the league right now, which is why they're ranked first.
And we're not that great.
Dallas
against them.
does not have as good as a run defense. Now,
But we still stop.
well, we make
not like San
plays. We make plays. That's what makes Dallas defense so special is that we're causing turnovers. We're causing touchdowns, defensive touchdowns. That's what makes our defense so special. Do we stop the run? Do we stop the pass? Not as well as compared to San Fran. So I think San Fran, as for stoppage, as for holding on 3rd down, San Fran has a better defense, but for Dallas, they have playmakers, they create turnovers, they create big
Call it
stuff.
now. Niners versus Cowboys playoffs already.
That would be
that would be a crazy ass game. Look,
but
I
we would
can't
probably
agree with
lose
you
because
more.
that's what we did last year. So.
I can't agree with you more, but going back to the
Cheers.
Cowboys game, Trayvon Diggs has really opened up this year because he did get a lot of interceptions last year, but I think Trayvon Diggs has really showed down on not trying to get that interception, but also trying to defend the defender. I think he's really done good on.
He's definitely got better in pass coverage, but he hasn't played the position for that long, so I think he'll get better each and every year because he's a stud athlete. So I agree with you on that.
So
All right,
basically a cover 4 on the San Fran, by the way.
All right.
Yeah,
We'll call it a
cover
cover 4.
All right, moving on. Last game of the week, we have the Washington Commanders
Taylor Heineke.
versus the Philadelphia Eagles.
Never mind. Never mind. Yeah, take it back.
Philadelphia is favored by 11.
Oh, are they? Wow, I'm surprised.
I'm very surprised.
Coming into the Eagles.
Eagles fly for like another week or two until Dak plays, whatever. I told you the Cowboys are going to be the first loss. We just lost the first time, so I guess we'll be their first loss next time. I don't know. Taylor Heineke, don't buy those green kicks, man. I don't feel very good about this one for you.
Aaron, what are you thinking?
I'll pass for now. Let me think a little bit longer.
You got Washington or Philly?
Look, I really hope Scary Terry can get some points this year or this game, but it's Philly. As much as I want Philly to lose because they're in the division of Cowboys,
So are the Commanders.
I don't think it's happening. I think Philly will cover the spread plus more, not if double the spread. Sad to say it, I want them to really lose. Prove me wrong, Commanders. Please win. I really need y'all to win, but
Are you going to take 4 shots if the Commanders win?
fuck no. I will. If the Commanders win, I will.
No. We're vetoing.
Veto.
Okay, I'll make a compromise. All right. If the Commanders win, you take 4 shots,
2 shots.
but then you go upstairs. You lock the door.
We're maxing out 2 shots.
2 shots. I'll take a shot if the Commanders win. As much as I want them
I'll
to
take
win,
a shot at the Commanders,
but I
let's
think
go.
Philly will win.
Dallas, what do you got?
I don't even think they'll
So-
score a point.
I mean, Alex called us a homer choice here, just because of being hopeful at this point.
Oh, this is Homer as fuck.
But Philly is not performing as well as everyone thinks they are. I mean, they almost lost
I've been
to
trying
Houston.
to tell you all this.
They almost lost to Houston.
great, but
That is
Houston and the
crazy.
Commanders are the same fucking team.
Washington is better than Houston.
That's great.
Washington's
They're
better than
better
Houston.
That's great. They'll still lose.
They'll
to the
still
Eagles.
lose. They'll still lose.
The
I'm gonna
Eagles
start
are
calling
still
you
a
Coach
little bit
Garrett,
better.
all right? Fly Eagles fly. Remember, everyone actually came out and were bashing him for that. By
They'll
the way.
fly for like 2 more weeks, man.
Yeah.
Until they play them Bills.
I do think if there's a time that Philly shows their true self, it would be against this team, especially with it being a divisional game. And so I do think, of course, with that division, they do tend to play close games, as the Cowboys have showed that in the past. I do think that Washington is going to barely win. Give me the money line on Washington against Philly. I think it's a huge upset, and then Dallas is going to come back and put them, and Dallas is going to
saying
lead
that
the
the Eagles
lead the
are hot,
division.
that hot shit. I agree. I definitely think they're a little overrated, but I mean, we're talking about the Commanders here, man. I don't know.
The same Commanders that beat who?
You know what, the fucking Packers?
Yeah, they beat the
dude,
Packers.
Dude, literally, my fucking grandma could beat the Packers right now. Bro. What do you got, Aaron?
I'm kind of leaning towards what Dawson's going on. Is
Homers, bro. We got homers in the chat.
Hold on, I'm trying to see if Chase Young's gonna play this week or not.
I don't think he is.
Regardless if he does or not, the Washington has a very good defensive line. Oh my God, you okay? A very good defensive front, and Philly, the best thing to do is run the ball. I mean, of course, they got A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, and stuff. But, like he said, I don't think Philadelphia is as good as everybody's giving them credit for. I do think they're a good, solid team. They got a really good defensive line, really good offensive line. They're really good at running the system that they do with Jalen Hurts. I don't want to say Washington's going to win in Philly, but I think they'll cover the spread. I don't think they'll lose by 11. I think it'll be closer than
That's fair.
Closer than expected, because people think Philadelphia is like a juggernaut because they're undefeated, but I don't really see it that way. I think they're a really good team, but it's like the Vikings. They only have one loss. Like, do I think they're a one-loss team? Definitely not. So I would take Philadelphia to win because it's at home, but I think Washington will cover the spread, and that's why I stand.
That's all the game picks, right?
That's it.
Okay, so before we outro really quick, hey, River, stand up for me.
Don't do it.
I just want you to walk in a straight line, and I want you to put one hand on your nose, and I want to put your other hand on your nose, and then just walk in a straight line.
And that's Cover 4 Sports, guys. Thank you.
That's Cover 4 Sports, where the
Four guys cover sports.
cover somewhat 3-2.
Three guys cover sports. One guy.
You're still trying to stalk in the money.
Okay,
All
look,
right.
let me
he's going again.
Cover 4
Goodbye.
Ride with your bitch in a top down. Fuck with the beat, ain't no sauce.